Hi! So as you may or may not know, I actually participated on a 30-day read. It's actually a month long of readathon and reading challenge, and in which I'm really proud to say that I conquered it, I nailed it, and that I practically killed this challenge. I actually owe my victory to the library's audiobooks and of course this very awesome application called Overdrive Media, in which you have to input your library or zip code or which state you're at and then sign in using your library card here in the US, and then you could borrow books electronically, which is a complete time and lifesaver and a complete game changer. My goal for this challenge is to read 5 to 50 pages a day. I know that's not quite a lot, but for me that's really a lot because I'm not really good at time management, and I think I'm in some sort of a reading slump. That's why there's a lot of varieties on the books I picked up for this challenge, and just complete random really. I didn't set up for an exact TBR pile because I know I wouldn't stick to it anyway. So yeah, I've managed to read 15 books, 8 of which are audiobooks, and 3 graphic novels, 2 of which are for reviews, 2 children's chapter books because they're relatively short, and random books in my shelf because they've been there for a very long time, so I was like, hey, you guys been there for a very long time, might as well read you now. And I did. And then, I started off this challenge with a very brilliant and great head start with The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and it was brilliant. I love it so much. And then I picked up 2 chapter books called The Magic Treehouse, book 4 and 5, about pirates and ninjas. So they're short, so I got into it quite fast, sort of. Even though I saw the cycle, I saw the pattern, but it's like, yeah, they're children's books, so they're quite okay, they're alright. Then I picked up Poison Diaries. I actually got an ebook of it, but I never got into it, so I just borrowed an audiobook from the library, which is really disappointing because I thought the story is so good or brilliant, but no, not really, such a downer. So I picked up Mouse by Art Spiegelman, and it's really mind-opening. This is the first graphic novel I've read about the Holocaust because I usually, go to museums and watch their exhibit and watch documentaries from History Channel and other stories from other folks. And I highly recommend all of you who haven't read it to, pick it up and give it a shot. And since I'm in that apocalypse kind of field zone kind of vibe, I picked up 1984 by George Orwell and Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury as an audiobook because that's the only one I got available at the moment. And I don't think I could get into it if it's a book, but I'm really planning to buy my own copy because it's awesome. And then I'm like, ooh, such a rebel. What I just did was a dystopian overload. And in order to quench my thirst, I picked up Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. It's the second book in the Percy Jackson series, and since the movie's coming up, I was like, hey, why not? Clarice, it's so freaking annoying. I just wanna, shut up. I think the movie looks great based from the trailer, and I love the characters, I love the cast. Can't wait to watch it. And then after rehydrating, I went on with The Feast, specifically A Feast for Crows by George R.R. Martin, and I love John Lee's voice. I actually got into the Game of Thrones, the Ice and Fire series with the audiobooks, and I'm really, really glad and thankful for the audiobooks for this because the series is so massive, and I really like John Lee's voice in this audiobook. He's so brilliant. Book 4 for me is kind of boring, but it's so interesting in some ways because, I finally got to tune in with other characters, POVs like Cersei, Sir Jaime, Brienne, Samuel Tarly, and all the other characters. So I'm so freaking excited to get into book 5 because, some of the regulars are there like Dany and Jon and so many people of Westeros. It's so crazy what's happening right now, and I really don't know because I want to wait for book 6 to come out, even though it's kind of bleak because we don't really know, and season 4 is next year, so I think I'm gonna hold on for now and let it digest for a little bit, and then get on with book 5. While I wait for the feast to digest, I picked up Before Watchmen, Minutemen, Silk Spectre, Ozymandias, and Crimson Corsair. I have no idea who Crimson is. I have no freaking idea until I've read the book. Anyway, these graphic novels are, for review. I got it from NetGalley, and I'm really glad I got approved because I haven't finished Watchmen. I think I'm halfway there. I just decided to can't finish it. And after reading Before Watchmen about the Minutemen and stuff like that, it got me into thinking that I should pick up Watchmen again. And I actually, after reading the graphic novels, I actually watched Watchmen, the movie, all over again. And I appreciated it more. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick up Watchmen and the other Before Watchmen series because I think it's really good to let the other characters shine, have that shining moment, just their piece of book, focus on them. So good. I think you guys, if you like Watchmen, you should definitely pick up Before Watchmen to, have more history about the characters, like their backgrounds and all that stuff. Yeah, it's really good. And the story about Crimson Corsair feels like Pirates of the Caribbean all over again, so if you're kind of into that stuff, pick it up. And after all that crime fighting and stories and confessions and histories and backdrops of other superheroes, I've decided to pick up Confessions of a Murder Suspect by James Patterson and Maxine Pietro. And I'm really, really surprised, and I really like this book. This is my first James Patterson book. So yeah, I really liked it, especially Emma Galvin's voice. It's so perfect for this book, so very suiting. So if you're kind of into that mystery teenage stuff, give it a shot. And then after all that confession, I've decided to investigate more about the curious case of Benjamin Button and other stories by F. Scott Fitzgerald, because the only ever so famous work of Fitzgerald that I know is The Great Gatsby. So I'm like, hey, give it a shot because I've seen the movie before. So, I gave it a shot and I like the audiobook. I also like the other stories. They're okay. So if you haven't read Curious Case of Benjamin Button, because it's like less than 80 pages, and if you got the audiobook, it's way faster than that. Finish it all off. Yes, finally, to finish it all off. Since I started with Neil Gaiman, I should end it with Neil Gaiman. No, it just so happens that it's Neil Gaiman that I've decided to end it with. So anyway, I tune in to Stardust. It's also an audiobook read by Neil Gaiman, which is so fantastic because I just love when Neil Gaiman read his own works. Just so magical that way, I think. The story is kind of confusing at first. There's quite a lot of characters in this. It's quite fast-paced and magical. It's so good. Then after that, go watch the movie. Oh my god, so good. I cried, mostly tears of joy. I laugh out loud, especially Robert De Niro. Whoa, that guy. Anyway, so that's basically it. That's all the 15 books I've read. 15. I still can't believe I've tuned in and read 15 books. That's crazy. And I think I'm gonna chill for now. And I'm wondering whether I should do the book-to-baton, but then since, some of the books I got into, especially the last two, it's still on that zone of the book-to-baton, but I think I'm gonna pass for now because I'm kind of tired and I just want to chill for a while. And perhaps, I don't know, if I feel like doing the challenge, I'll just do it. And then maybe perhaps post some blog posts about it later. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna post some of the links below of my book reviews because more likely I'm gonna post it in my blog first and make a video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and tell me in the comment section below if you've read any of this book, what you've been doing the last 30 days, because I want to hear it from you. Did you participate in the challenge? Because I've been looking in the Twitter feeds about that challenge, and it's pretty interesting. A lot of people joined. So yeah, tell me in the comment section below and I'll check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!